And welcome to the Wednesday afternoon edition, the 13th episode of the 344 show, where I have none other than Leslie Greenwood with me today, where we're going to be talking about Evangelist Led Growth, if I got that right. And This is something that as soon as I heard about it, I was super pumped because I hadn't heard about it before, right? And this is a thing that Leslie has invented, I think. I mean, and we're going to dig into that, right? So
Awesome.
that's what this is why we're here. So we're here to give anybody who has there's something to sell, a chance to do it and do it with celebration and acceptance and eagerness. So with that, Leslie, let's talk about evangelist led growth. I want to hear all about this. So tell me, like, where do we start? Like, who needs this? Like, where? Give us kind of an intro here.
Yeah, I would say pretty much everyone needs it. Everyone needs it. I mean, if I think about even like personally, I have some evangelists that when they see opportunities or they see things, they tag me. I'm an evangelist for certain companies that just I love. I'm not being paid by them, or I evangelist for some people I know looking for roles. But everybody needs an evangelist or evangelists. In business, it's basically just really putting a strategy behind, the old word of mouth, instead of that happening on its own. And it's truly like a building block of every other LGs, led growths out there is the individual member, user, human behind your service or product. And so it's taking a strategic approach to how do you care for them? How do you treat them? What's your point of view on what the customer experience will be like from the beginning? And then, over time and with, some different stages, you activate them so that they're out there like I am talking about different things because they want to, and not because you're paying them or you're giving them points or stars. It's because they truly feel attached to your brand and they want to just shout you from the rooftops.
Okay. So that's what evangelists. Okay. So give me an example of some of these businesses that are really, I don't know, primed, I guess, for this kind of, for harnessing that kind of, I don't know, that kind of truth, that kind of reality.
I mean, I mostly work with, B2B tech SaaS. I mean, I came from Pavilion, so that is my entire network of people. I think, most brands that want to be truly customer focused can do this. This all goes back to also community, and not everybody can run a successful community because they don't want to spend that much time and effort into developing their clients, etc. But I'd say one of the really interesting parts is thinking about it from a very early stage company. I actually talked to a founder today, and he's not ready for a community, but I said in the meantime, think about this evangelist-led growth. How are you treating these first people that like cross the chasm with you and have gone all in with your product, because they're the people that are the most primed to be that evangelist because they've already taken a leap with you. They're in beta mode, they're dealing with your bugs, but they're still happy. So how do we treat them, and how is that different than what your competitor, how they treat them?
Yeah.
And so I think the earlier stage ones, it's just on a very micro level and without the community, but I think that there's a huge opportunity there.
Okay. I'm just trying to relate to this in my own personal sort of
Mhm.
technology creator consumption world. Like, I use this tool called Kapwing, right? And Kapwing is kind of like Canva, but kind of not. And it's got some different things that it does and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I swear I'm the only person on LinkedIn in my community that uses it. And I talk about it all the time,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Because and I can't say that it's better than Canva. I just don't know because I don't use Canva, never had to because I use this other thing.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And that works perfectly great. And I've been on it now and I have all my files are already there. And the only thing it doesn't make is carousels doesn't make those at all. So I have
Oh.
to, yeah, I quit making carousels. That was my response. So I
Yep.
get
Yep.
this. I think I get this
Mhm.
idea, right? That we can have evangelists who are going to town for us, right?
Mhm.
As businesses, as business owners, as operators, right?
Mhm.
But not necessarily community, right? Because community then is another has this idea that there's a lot of people who are want to come together and talk about that. So So I think I get that. I think so.
Mhm.
So where do we go from here? Like how like what kind of services does your company offer right now? Like
Mhm.
specifically?
Yeah, my biggest, offering, what I love to do is build community.
Okay.
I did that for 2 years and took a community from 2,000 to 8,000 members, so that particularly part, I
Hmm.
love.
Hmm.
Most times I'll get it's because of my evangelists and my connections, people come to me or recommend me. And then they will, we'll start talking about what their community strategy, what it's going to look like. How are we going to take their mission, vision, and values and put that into a community? Because just kind of like we talked about with the individual evangelists like you, Trevor, it's like there's a connection. There's a
Hmm.
connection between you and this company. It's got to be something more than just like it's fab, that makes you want to talk about it. Same thing with the customers or the members.
Okay.
And so we start that discussion. Every community is different. There are
Mhm.
lots of different types of communities. So that's my main offering is community strategy, community consulting, community execution, and bringing it to market for the brands that I work with. I'm also running a course on Evangelist Led Growth on Maven. It's a live
Okay.
cohort based course, and it really takes the whole community aspect into it because
Mm.
it's going to be a small group. It's 20 people. We're going to be in breakout rooms. We're going to be working together. We're going to be putting our strategies together in a very kind of intimate type of setting. So it's still creating that community, which I
Mhm.
love, but
Yeah.
then teaching the principles through, through this live course.
All right. Well, let's open that up a little bit. I think we have a little bit of time. So let's unpack this course a
Mhm,
little bit. So who do you see wanting to come to that?
mhm.
And how does that when does it start and what's the duration? All that. Give me
Yeah.
some flesh that up.
It starts I should have looked this up. It's in April.
Okay.
I
April.
will look that
That's
up
good.
in a minute, but it's in April, so you have some time.
With 6 weeks
It's
at least.
really Oh, yeah, yeah, you got plenty of time. So,
Okay.
who I think the main people are for this is, be founders that
Okay.
wanna, like, start implementing that right away. I do have some, creators that
Hmm.
are in here, and it's keep in mind when I'm talking evangelists, it's a little bit different than, the evangelists we see
Okay.
on LinkedIn, where I'm talking about grassroots evangelists, like building those people up that are just your users to have them go and do that. Because let's be honest, most of us cannot afford our own personal evangelists traveling around and talking about us.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Fair enough.
so founders, I have some individual contributors, people opening a new business. So, an individual creator business, like how do I turn my customers into this kind of referral making machine
Mm. Okay.
for me? And so, just putting strategies around that, and then where do we find them?
Mm.
And then how do we nurture them and engage them and amplify them so that they they want to go talk about us.
Wow, that sounds really cool. I mean, it sounds like something that's totally like right up my alley too, because I've, think about this, this Hotness Unleasher
Mhm.
show, right?
Yeah.
That ran last fall and started up again last weekend. It has organically become a community,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have anything other than just me sort of bobbing around, making
Mhm.
mistakes and doing dumb stuff. It doesn't really have any kind of definition other than there's one single DM chat that still kind of rolls around that has maybe, I don't know, 10% of the overall community actually in it. But it's still active, believe it or not. I mean, it's still
Mhm.
like people are still contributing to it, and I think that there are some people in there who are really into it, like,
Mhm.
and not necessarily, but they're just into the concept, and they really like it. So, and I see other things like that, like this Whiskey Wednesday, right? That
Mhm.
has come around, this show run by Jesse Lizak, and like how into it people are,
Mhm. Mhm.
and so that's really something I'm gonna take a look at.
Can
And
I
so
give
yeah,
you an
so
advice? Can
yes,
I stop and give you free consulting?
well here we are. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Let's do it. So, when's the last time you actually went in there and, like, of the people that are still talking, like, reached out to them and said, "Hey, how's it going? You wanna catch up and do a chat?" Um,
On an individual basis, fairly regularly, believe it or not,
yeah, you're
because I'm building this show, right? This
right.
show has extended. So basically, everybody that you've seen to date
Mhm.
from that community.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So thinking about that as a community, you know, like how do you, and you're doing some of this already, you're elevating the profiles, you're giving them the ability to, you know, become, have more influence out in the community. You are engaging them already. You are offering them something that's of interest to them. And that is creating, that's why they come to these shows. And that's why they're going to tell their friends about it, because you've created that connection that's beyond just, I come listen to the Hotness Unleashed show.
Yeah.
You know, you've done the building blocks of that. So I would just say for me, it's like double down on that and then think about the personas of the people that are in that. You know, they're all different.
Yeah.
The way you know, way I'm going to engage an IT or an professional or an engineer, completely different than the way I'm going to engage a CRO. I mean, you know, I give a CRO a chance to be on stage and be on a panel and, oh my God, I'm the best thing ever. I might offer that to an engineer and he'd be like, ooh.
Yeah. No. But let them publish a paper, get their name on it, and maybe they're happy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then elevate that within, you know, your version of a community. You know, it's
Right.
like this social, there's still an aspect of social status that is in all communities. And that's part of like you engaging with them, giving them credibility. So yeah, I just say double
Okay.
down a little bit more on that.
Okay. Well, then that's what I'm going to do, because I love these people. I mean, I really, truly do. Like, they have become just really, really great friends, confidants. And, you know, we're talking a lot about this idea of digitally originated relationships
Hmm.
and what that means now to people who are non-digital natives, and how we process that. How do we deal with conflict? How do we deal with distance and separation and
Hmm.
relationships that may terminate, yet we're still constantly being reminded of each other, right? I mean, these are real things that happen in real
So
life, right?
interesting. So
Yeah,
interesting.
it truly is. So, but I want to get back to you. All right, so we've
Okay,
got
sorry.
two basic offers,
Yep.
and so one is really high level consulting about how to build out formal evangelist led growth in B2B SaaS companies of some degree of success, or at
Mhm.
least momentum.
C to B. C
Okay,
to B
C to
stage is
B.
usually you got to have revenue, you know, but C to B is really where I'm
Okay.
spending my time.
Okay, great. So then from there, we go down a notch, and we've got this course that's coming
Mhm.
out, right?
Right.
And you said you expect there's what did I hear? 20? Does that?
Probably 20 to 25 is the maximum that I'm going to take
Okay.
in the course because I want it to be a very, you know, intimate experience. Also, it's my first try. So
Okay. Okay.
just
Great.
like this, I don't think it'll be dumpster fire. Just like today, it's not a
Yeah.
dumpster fire, Trevor.
Hey,
Look how
hey.
great we did.
I know, and we're live on LinkedIn. I can see it's actually running. We don't have a huge audience today, but that's okay. We'll get along, all right. And no, your audio is perfect. Your video is terrific. We're good. I'm just like so happy. So, all right. So we've got about 20, 25 people in this. How now? You said it starts in April. How long does it last?
It is 2 weeks. So
Okay.
it is, oh, yay. Hey, Chet's here. Chet's actually enrolled for my course.
Yay. Nice.
Um, it's 2 weeks. So it's 3 hours a week over the course of 2 weeks.
Okay.
So the you know, first two Monday, Wednesday of each week, we're, you know, diving into the different principles. So there's, you know, identify, engage, um, educate and empower, or
Okay.
educate and amplify. Or empower and amplify. That's oh, I
Okay.
should really know what my stuff is. So anyway, there are
It's your
4
course.
steps to evangelist led growth.
Okay. Okay.
And then every Friday we'll have an open working session so that
Okay.
you can come together and because everybody's going to be totally different. You know,
Yeah.
your needs are different than Chet's needs, et cetera. And so
Yeah.
that's why we can have some more one-on-one time.
Okay. And then the hope I'm guessing is that within that community then is a community forms, right? Of all these people who are into
Maybe.
it, you know,
Mhm.
are into evangelism and learning about that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk about your explicit availability and how do I sign up for that? You've got a website. I assume we can do that.
Yes. Is there a chat function in here?
There kind of is, but it's uh,
You know, here's how you can do all of it. It's super
yeah,
easy. One, you can find me on LinkedIn.
okay.
I see, hello, Felicia. I see you on LinkedIn. She's so great about liking all of my posts. I love that. You can find me on LinkedIn, DM me for more information. On my website, thechiefevangelist.com is a link to the course. It's a link to
Okay.
kind of how I my ethos on
Yeah.
community and how it works, for me, kind of how I work with companies. So that's probably a place you could get all the information, but
Okay.
as people, if you know me, I'm accessible.
Okay. Okay. Great. All right. So now we're almost out of time.
Yes.
And so I promised that we would, that to my audience, that we would deliver one sort of key takeaway. So the key takeaway that I'd like you to give me today that we can pass on is, for those of us who are at the tippity top of the community evangelism funnel
Mhm.
and don't have a dime to our names. Okay.
Got
And
it.
we're doing everything we can with our own, sweat, blood, and tears.
Yep.
Can you give us 1 minute of the Leslie Greenwood best advice? Do this, and this is how you get started.
Yep. I want you to really think and have a point of view, not just like I'm taking care of my customers. I want you to have a point of view on how you're going to take care of your customers, your contacts, your community from the moment you start. So what does that mean? What is it? What is the difference between engaging with you, Trevor, and one of the other ones? Does that mean access? Does that mean you're going to elevate profiles? Do you make introductions? When you don't have it, when you do have a dime to your name, do you or you can send a note, send a gift, just thinking about what that experience is like. What is it? This is, I guess, maybe I should have distilled it down to this. What does it feel like to do business with you? And if you haven't thought about what it feels like, what the connection is of doing business with your company, that's what I'm going to tell you to do.
Okay. All right. So get clear on how it feels
Mhm.
to do business together, and it
Yep.
better feel good, right? It better feel great in
It
some way,
better
shape,
feel
or form.
something better than just a transaction. If it feels
Yes.
like a transaction, you'll never make an evangelist in your life.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take that to the bank, and I have made a strong commitment to my audience that we are going to shut this down at 4 o'clock. We have been online now for 16 minutes. Thank you, Leslie. This has been really interesting, and I personally am going to take a lot away from it. So with that, we're going to hit the count up timer and sign off. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Trevor.